Greetings, beloved beings of light. Happy new supermoon in Pisces. We have a lot of powerful energies coming in today, like we do every day now, with these intense shifts through this great shift of the ages. Today, March 10th, 3/10/2024, a lot of information coming in today about this great shift and this coming eclipse. I've been gathering information about this coming full solar eclipse, April 8th, which will be crossing over the United States through Mexico, up through the United States, up into Canada, lower part of Canada. And it's forming a great X over the United States of America, which I spoke briefly in one of my past talks about this, to the total eclipse traveling through the 7 cities of Nineveh in the United States. I'm collaborating a bunch of information now. I'm going to do my best to put out a special video for this coming solar eclipse, but a lot of information coming in today. Some of the research I've been doing. I wanted to cover a few things in the mundane, but in this great shift, which we have this great debt jubilee coming in, freeing humanity from the financial tyranny, we call it, you know, of these fiat currencies. It was brought to my attention today. This is a sign that it's the end of the reign of the Babylonian slavery systems. You see, this began in Babylon in the Middle East, in these centers, Palestine, Iraq, Iran, this area. This is very sacred portals here in this, but it was converted to the upside down world, to the dark forces that have been controlling and manipulating the matrix for many years. I took some notes here because a lot of information, I can't keep track of it all. So I'm taking notes, I'm saving files. I'm going to try to put together a special presentation, time allowed, and, you know, goddess willing, you know, through this acceleration of time. So I'm going to try to keep this brief so I can get this out to you today through this new moon in Pisces. This is the closest lunation of 2024. It's a super moon. So we're connecting with these energies, Venus into Pisces tomorrow too. We're done with this Piscean age. You know, my queen and I, we've had enough of the Pisces energy. All of our people, our family, we're done. You know, we're ready for Aquarius, you know, the age of Aquarius, 5D. We're done with this old false 3D matrix, you know, as all of you are too. We know these cycles of suffering, these cycles of samsara, these fake Groundhog Day scenarios from the archons. So we're in the process of releasing ourselves and humanity from these slavery systems. So one of them, it was brought to my attention today that tomorrow, which will be 3/11/11/3 in the United States, I'm not sure other places in the world. I'm here in the Pacific Northwest in the United States, where tomorrow, by law, no bank in this country is allowed to lend out fiat currency anymore. This is a law. This is on the books. You can look it up on the internet. Some people on the Insight team, some people working with the Earth Alliance, the White Hats, whatever name you want to give to these organizations, people, the Dragon Elders, and all these people that are humanitarians, that are here to help free humanity from these slavery systems. They're put it out that tomorrow, now fiat, those of you that don't know fiat, F-I-A-T, I used to teach these things many years ago when I used to promote and sell gold and silver bullion, that you know, fiat means no intrinsic value, that a currency or whatever it is of trade that has no value in itself, just like money, that has no commodity backed base to it, that it has no value, just like it's just worth the paper it's printed on. Now, currency in the United States became fiat. It was taken off the gold standard. You see, every dollar that was loaned out, that was printed, was backed by gold, like a real commodity. Just like some countries, they might back their currency by oil. It's something that can be used, silver, tea, whatever, a real commodity, not just a fake currency. I want you all to realize that, 95% or more of currency, of money in this realm doesn't even exist now. It's all ones and zeros on a computer screen. It's digital. It's all digital. That's the trick. When they say there's $34 trillion in debt, the government, that's all a lie. It's all nonsense. They just punch numbers on a screen and they put it on the internet in these black boxes to keep humanity in this cycle of nonsense, stupidity, ignorance, whatever you want to call it. See, we have these ancient civilizations of Babylon. We can trace these banking systems and currencies and all these back to these ancient Babylonian practices, and they were carried on through these family lines, through these lineages of nefarious activities to keep humanity enslaved in these nonsense control mechanisms. So, part of the shift is to free humanity. So it's going to be a wild week ahead. We'll see what happens. We don't know how this is going to unfold, but we believe, people of us that research these things. A lot of people send me information daily. I'm constantly researching for my daily transmissions and that this RV, the revaluation of currency, this is going to happen through the BRICS organization, BRICS, as part of these ancient, these dragon elders of the East. We have, B for Brazil, South America, Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C China, S South America. These are the founding fathers and mothers, the men and women that are benevolent beings that are freeing humanity from these slavery systems. And this has been in the process for over 100 years or more. And I'm connected with some of these people. I've been connected over the years now. Today also Ramadan. So happy Ramadan to our brothers and sisters of the Islamic faith. We have many angels in Islam. We have many angels in Judaism. We have many angels in Christianity and Buddhist, Taoist, all over this realm, in every nation, every culture. We appreciate you all. Let us not focus on the nefarious ones that are part of these organizations, just like the Catholic religion. It's, the psychopaths and the sociopaths that got in there, these ones that hurt children. A true Catholic would not hurt a child. I'm telling you that right now. I've had many friends that were Catholic, and they agree with me, of course. If you're a benevolent being, if you're a compassionate, kind human being, you have morals, you have integrity. This is what we need to teach our children, not about fighting over pronouns and other nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Can't make it up. I didn't think that humanity would be dumbed down to this point where we're at, but we don't focus on that. I give hope. I have a vision. I give faith, help people conjure up the faith for a better tomorrow, for a better future, but we recognize, we see what's going on in this realm. We don't focus on it. If anything, it's a joke, it's nonsense. So let us talk here real quick about this eclipse coming April 8th. You see, Nineveh is in the Bible, was in the Old Testament, it was a place, a location, but it symbolized repent, because these were those that opposed the way of the Hebrew, it means fish in the ancient language of the Middle East, so it was put out today, Ramadan, the Arabic people, the Muslim people. It's not just Arabic, we have Muslim, Islamic people in many different cultures, many different nations that practice this faith. So Ramadan, 9th month of the Islamic calendar, you see, it was said that this morning that they saw the crescent moon. This is a crescent moon of the 9th month It was at 11:11 a.m. Eastern time, so very synchronistic. Today also, we had this massive, powerful solar flare. It was almost an X class. It was M 7.3. 73 into the 37 is code of our new heaven upon the new earth. It's 1010, and this 1010 code is very important, especially with this coming eclipse, which I'll cover quickly. I only have a few more minutes. So I can get this video out to all of you today. You see, this morning, one of our children, our youngest son, told me that today was Mario Day. I said, Mario, who? Some of you know Mario, Super Mario Brothers, the video game. Today, March, like MAR of March, and then 10-1-0. I said, how is the, Mario? I thought, what is it, his birthday? At the birth of, our kids love Mario and Luigi, those video games that kids play, that, the little plumber guy that jumps over mushrooms and stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, I hope. Maybe not. But he said Mario Day because March, MAR, and then 1 and 0. The 1 is an I and the 0 is an O, and I thought that's very interesting. I-O, like Jesus, the I-O is the 1 and the 0. This 1 and 0 code, you see, because the 1 is the yang energy, the fire, and the 0 is the yin, the feminine, the masculine 1. You see, this is binary code. This is in the Yi Ching. A solid line is on, broken line off. So what's going to happen this week? The switch is going to be flipped. We don't know how this is all going to unfold, but it's going to accelerate quick. So, stay anchored in, stay out of the fear. There's a lot of fear mongering going on online and on the internet, on these black boxes we call scrying mirror. They're neutral, but beautiful things or heinous things can come through. So what's going to happen, which I hope to show you when I do the presentation, is this line of total eclipse, total solar eclipse. This darkness, this void is going to go up through the United States. And what's interesting, you see, the last major solar eclipse, total solar eclipse, we say the US solar eclipse, was August 21st, 2017. Now this is the day that the timeline of my queen, my sacred condor, and I merged together. It was a very powerful thing, very traumatic things happened, to shift this realm and to shift the two of us to come together. And where this V of the upper X, you see X. A lot of people aren't talking about this. We're seeing X all over the place. Elon Musk bought this social media, Twitter, and turned it to X. We're seeing this XRP, that will run the quantum financial system. X marks the spot. And this is very important because I want you all to realize, take a moment, really think on these things, contemplate these things. The X is the Roman numeral for 10. You see, 10 is the trigger point. I came in 5-10, 73, 10-10 portal. So this all makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense, just stick with us a little longer. It'll come to you. You'll remember these things. So the X over the United States, the 2017 and this coming April 8th is in a form, an X over the United States. And where the crossroads, the center of that X, it's also a cross turn sideways, So the center, very interesting because it's a pretty large area. But the center of that X and the center of that area, Cedar Lake, Jackson County, Illinois. Some people say Illinois. The center, the closest town is called Maanda. Maanda, M-A-K-A-N-D-A, Maanda. In Sanskrit, that means mango or mango, like the mango fruit, but it also symbolizes, see, Makanda, Ma, the mother. It's the power of women, the woman of power. You know, the name Makanda, it's connected to the sun. This is solar, the solar child that's being born, that's rising up. This is connected to Leo, the lion. Leo energy, the fire. You see the fire energy coming in. This is the yang, the one, merging with the yin, the zero, coming together through this powerful portal. And today, 310 into 410. I've said that before. My sister Victoria's birthday, the 10th of April. Aries, the ram. Aries also fire. Aries and Leo. My queen and I are both Leo rising. I'm Taurus. My queen is Aries. You know, also my sister Victoria, who's one of our greatest angels also. So Makanda. And what's very interesting, Makande. If you watch my videos, in the middle of most of my videos, I have that painting, that African painting of, it's all yellow with the tribal members. I purchased that, many paintings off of a friend of mine, a gentleman I befriended from Tanzania, Africa. This is the home of our beloved chimps. You know, they've always been, the great apes have always been in my heart. I was in love with chimps when I was a child. I still am. You know, the chimps, the orangutan. You know, my grandmother used to call me her little orangutanga because I was born with orange frizzy hair, and a baby orangutan was born at the Cleveland Zoo the same day I was born. But I've always had a connection. Some of you remember the story. Before I left Cleveland, I went to visit the baby orangutan, and the mother walked right up to me in this crowd and put her hand, and we touched hands and connected heart to heart, mind to mind. These beautiful creatures, and the gorillas, you know, these are beautiful animals of our animal kingdom, of our beloved Africa, you know. So the painting, the yellow painting, that beautiful painting, is from a tribe in Africa called the Makunde. It's, I believe, Makunde. Beautiful people, beautiful artists. I've bought many paintings off of them, and I stretched them on stretcher board, and I gave many of them, most of them out as gifts before I left Cleveland. They were always in my store. I had a storefront in Cleveland for many years. So I'm going to talk real quick. So we're almost out of time here. Trying to keep this under 30 minutes. The eclipse, August 21st, 2017, that went from the Pacific Northwest down through America and into like Georgia, Florida area. It started, my queen was up there in that eclipse in the Pacific Northwest. I was in Cleveland. So what's interesting, this eclipse of the April 8th, it's going to go over where I live most of my life in the 216. I've talked about the 6 times 6 times 6. It's a very dark portal there, you know, that we are converting to the light. We're converting all false portals into the truth, into the true light. See, my family's still there. My family's in Cleveland. This is going to go right over Cleveland. There's a Nineveh, Ohio, too. So the fish symbolism, the Pisces, as we shift, you know, we're healing people from 2,000 years or more of suffering, of torture, of trauma, of abuse. So this, that the first eclipse, 2017, the first part of the X, 7 cities of Salem, Salem, Salem means peace, like Jerusalem, Jerusalem. Shalem is peace. Jerusalem means a place of peace or a city of peace, just like Palestine means the same thing, beloved beings of light. You see, it's all coming together, you know, in this gnosis. So the 7 cities of Salem of peace. Now, I have, my aunt used to live up in Newburyport, Massachusetts. She was one of the greatest artists, Nancy Frye, F-R-Y-E. My mother's sister, her and her counterpart lived up there in Newburyport, Massachusetts. They both have passed And about 10 years ago, I visited them once, and they took me to Boston, and I was like 19 years old. It's like 30 years ago or something. And they took me to the Salem Witch Museum, which was totally disturbing. I went in there and saw these devices that they tortured these innocent women and men, that they accused of witchcraft and all this nonsense. I could tell you stories about that. One of my clients back in Cleveland, her great aunt was one of the women that they persecuted. And see, the Christians believed that if they said they were a witch or of the devil, they would go to hell. So if they would have, that's the twist of this, all this nonsense, is that back then, during the witch trials, if you said you were a witch, they would have, let you repent and you would live. If you refuse and said, I'm not a witch, they would drown you, they would hang you, burn you at the stake, all this nonsense. See, my friend, my client in Cleveland, who was an elderly woman, and she was a genealogist and really into genealogy. And her great aunt or something was one of the women on trial, and they put her on trial, and a lot of it was political, of course. This woman, her husband passed away, and she inherited all the land and money, so of course the powers that were at the time wanted her property, her land. So she's a witch, and the only evidence they had against her is that she walked through a field that was muddy, and she walked in this person's house, and her long dress was clean and her shoes were clean, that she levitated or something. So if they accused her, but because she was hardcore Christian, she would not, she said, I'm not a witch, and they ended up massacring her, murdering her, killing her. So when I was in that museum, this is disturbing, I know, but it's part of the story. Salem was of a peace, but they took that and turned it into a dark portal. And when I went in there, I got sick to my stomach. I had to leave that museum. I've always been sensitive to those energies, and I felt the suffering of all the innocent men and women. They were both men and women, mostly women, because of course the divine feminine has been suppressed and traumatized and tortured for thousands of years, because the psychopaths are afraid of the power of the divine feminine. They don't want power to return to the people. So they do everything to suppress the feminine and the goddess energy. So we have the 7 cities of Salem, Shalom. So see, Shalom, Shalom in Hebrew means peace. That's where Salem came from, Jerusalem. Israel came from the 3 religions of the Middle East that came out of Egypt. The 3 religions: Isis of the moon, the pagan religion; Ra, the sun, the Christianity. That's why pagans worship on Monday, Moon Day. They worship the moon. The Sunday, the Christians worship Sunday. It's the sun in the sky. It's Ra, Ra, the sun god. The same story told over and over. And El, Israel, Elohim, the Elohai, the El, it's Saturn. Saturday is after Saturn. The Jews worship on Saturday, you see. It all comes together. So that was the merging of the 3 religions, the Israel. Jordan Maxwell taught a lot about that if you watch his documentaries, Naked Truth. So we had the 7 cities of Salem now with Nineveh. So peace, repenting. This is the transformation. This is people atoning for their sins, the dark ones. Obviously, if you're a good person, living from your heart, being kind, being compassionate, protecting our people and our children, then there's nothing you need to worry about. But the dark ones, they know their time is up. The false ones, the nefarious ones, I call sociopaths and psychopaths. We all know who they are. I don't need to point them out. It's all being exposed now through this great revelation. So the 7 cities of Shalom with the Nineveh, see Maanda, and in the middle. It's where the two cross over. The mango, the sacred fruit, the sacred nectar. This is the ripening of the fruit, of consciousness. This is the blooming, the blossoming from the blossom, the fruits, the fruits of our work, of our labors. This is going to be part of the awakening process and part of, freeing humanity and empowering. And this is, the abundance code, the abundance energy that's coming in to free us, from all debt, from all systems of taxation and all these things. So we know on this very powerful day, on the 8th, we're going to see a lot between now and the 8th, a lot of things coming through, a lot of changes. This, acceleration of the shift of this awakening. So just be sure to stay in the heart. I'm going to do more research, try and put everything together, try to come up with a nice presentation for all of you for this very special eclipse coming up in April. We have a lunar eclipse at the end of this month, another full moon coming up, I believe, on the 25th, right around then. And at the end of the month, we have Easter, Easter in the middle. We have the first day of spring, 19th, the equinox. So, the equinox is the cross turned sideways, to make the X. X marks the spot. It's the 10, this Roman numeral of 10, 10, 10 portal. So this is all leading up to this 10-10, the beautiful portal of this 10-10. That's the twin flame energy, the divine union, the yin and the yang, the fire and the water, the kan and the li coming together in the sacred heart center for our great leap of consciousness into Homo Luminous. So keep anchoring in the energies. I'm also working on potentially starting another channel on health and wellness. Those of you that follow our Prime Disclosure, many of you know that we've been demonetized on there through YouTube. So they're suppressing our work, our channel. That means we hit them hard. So thank you everyone that continue to support us in our work and mission. Because of demonetization, that means that we no longer earn an income on that channel. We're still monetized on this, so that pays about half of our monthly expenses, the other half through Patreon and donations. So if you'd like to help support our work and mission, you see we lost about 10-15% of our income like this once YouTube demonetizes it. Hopefully they don't do that to this channel. If they do, we'll just have to go all in on Patreon until we get back on our feet. So we hope that doesn't happen before this great divine dispensation. And we know we're calling in the highest timeline, our divine dispensation, so we can return to our lands and our people can be freed from these suffering programs, at a base level. That's every family deserves a home. We have many of our people are homeless, many of our people are starving, so we appreciate you and all your support, what you've given to us. We're very grateful, and all of you that still support us in our work and mission. We've also lost many of our people in the last year on Patreon. So every dollar helps. So if you'd like to help us continue doing this work, you can make a monthly pledge. That's the best place to help support us. So we know we have enough coming in every month to pay our rent. So that's whitegoldeagle.com. And we have a lot of teachings and trainings on there that, one of the only places on the internet that's teaching some of these things. So we appreciate you all that continue to support us, and we're doing our best to serve all of you. And my queen's doing her weekly New Earth Ascension report and astrology reading, and we do a monthly Reiki distance healing ceremony for all of our people that sign up. So be sure to join us there, whitegoldeagle.com. You get all that for $5 a month. We have different packages for if you can afford more, we appreciate that, and any donations greatly appreciated. So again, whitegoldeagle.com or eaglelovecondor.com if you'd like to help support our work and help us continue bringing the daily transmissions. I'm currently working on today's transmission, so I'll finish that up after I get this edited, uploaded. I want to get this out to you before this week begins, so if you're aware of some of these things coming in and see what happens. We'll keep you up to date throughout the week, time allotted. We're all, under this great intensity of energy and pressure and compression. Many people feeling this compression breakthrough. So, just stay in your heart, stay hydrated, self-care. This is about self-care. So I'm working on potentially starting a new channel, Goddess willing, called Health and Wellness Guru, where it's all going to be health, wellness, healing arts, healing tools, techniques, stuff like that. Now that they demonetized that one, I'm only uploading shorts to Prime Disclosure. So I'm trying to get everyone over to Paul White Gold Eagle, which was always our main channel. Prime Disclosure was like a backup channel, but we did earn some income from that. And since this channel is being suppressed, with 35,000 subscribers, we're only getting 500 to 3,000 views per video. So they don't pay you very much, a little bit per view, a few cents per view. So the more you get, they could, Google could pay, YouTube could pay our expenses if they were giving us, the compensation for all the work we put in. But our channel is heavily suppressed, as most of you know, at this point. And so we just appreciate each and every one of you supporting us in our work and mission. We hope to keep serving you into the future until we're not needed anymore, until we're on the new earth. So hopefully that's very soon. We see it coming quickly. And we'll all be living in peace, harmony. You can find peace now. Yes, seek the kingdom of heaven within. And we manifest it externally. Keep holding your visions for the new heaven upon the new earth. Have a most beautiful, blessed day. The eagle and the condor send you so much love, bliss, and blessings and the light. Namaste.